And hello, welcome back to Tropico 6. Now, our little town here is growing so far, so we are building the library now over here as we've progressed there. We have another Teamster office. We do have some raw materials, so I think it is time for, well, some processing of these materials. Right now, we are producing with 2 plantations here, coffee and tobacco. So it might be a good idea to have, well, at least one of them being processed. So we do have the or for the logging camp. I think for the logging camp it makes more sense because that's rather cheap. Having the lumber mill. Now process logs to produce planks, and those planks we can sell them as well. It does cost us a bit, but let's have the planks. Let's have it actually here close to the logging camp. We could have it, oh here I want to have another plantation perhaps, but let's have the logging camp then, or the lumber mill here then right beside our logging camp. So this will require, in this case I don't think really that higher education for the workers, but still it will process something, and those processed goods are worth much more when exporting. Now for the plantations, I want to have another plantation here. Let's have a look. We do have banana now. We do have the tobacco, the coffee. Sugar is something we don't have. That's bad. Cocoa is something, but we have cocoa over there. Cotton. Cotton might be something. Rubber. Actually, that's not a very good ground here to produce anything, what I can see. Pineapple. That might be something. Sugar. Or we just continue with cocoa. We might do that. Or, wait a second. What we can do, we have... Let's go for the overlays. We should have some good resources here. And that's right. We do have... Those are all the resources that we have right now. More are being unlocked later. Right now we have iron, coal and gold. So we have gold over here. We do have some coal and iron here close together. That's very good because we can then process them rather quickly. Or over here, that's better because this one here is too central to my town then. But let's use the gold here right now. So let's have a mine, right? We don't have that yet. Then we have the mine. We need to place it right above the gold deposit. As we can see, we cannot place it anywhere else. So there we have it. There we have a gold mine. What we need now is a street going towards that. And gold is particularly interesting because we get lots of, well, money out of that one here. Lots of cash. The next freighter, 7,000 that we exported. Very good. And 9 more people. We do need them. So having that and having that. And as you remember, we do have a quest here. Revolutionary approval. So the library will be one step towards that. The other one is, well, edicts. Now with edicts, we can get new policies active in our town. So right now in the colonial age, we do have 4 edicts here available. So that's food for the people, no free lunch, mandatory siesta, and urban development. The mandatory siesta, for example, increases the job quality of each workplace by 15%, but decreases the efficiency of 12%. I think that might be fine. The other thing is food for the people. Citizens consume 2 units of food when eating, increases the general food quality by 10. Decreases the capitalist standing by 10 though. Let's go with food for the people.
Citizens who are all skin and bones. By doubling food rations, you can make everyone happy. Well, except for the wealthy tycoons whose market economics thrive on scarcity. But everyone else will be mildly pleased at your generous gesture. Besides, it will be years before the detrimental health effects of chronic obesity will get noticed. Right?
Right.
Am I right?
Penultimo getting the long-term effect of this one here, but let's issue the edict. So this costs us 500, but it will increase the food quality and thus the happiness of my people. So revolutionary, I think it's already going up. So it was at 51, going to 52 now, will be going up there even further. The other thing that we need is, let's have a look at my bunkhouses. There's still some places left here, but we should still build a few more of them. Let's go for another bunkhouse then. Let's have one here. In fact, let's have 2 bunkhouses there. We do need them. Right, so 2 more bunkhouses there. Library is being built right now. That's going to be important because right now we do have the research, but we don't generate any research points right now, so knowledge points. And the library will be the first step towards that. And then we can start researching as well. Something we should do because we get some interesting things out of this one. Storage is looking fine. Let me have a look at the trade there. So at our active trade routes here, so tobacco and meat. So meat is the important one. Right, we are pretty much close to completion. Also the next freighter, and we'll complete this one. And that is here our crown trade route demand that we have there. Getting another 18 months out of this one here once we finish that. And I need to look at a plantation for corn. Right, there is some corn fertility over here and over here, so we might just have the corn plantation then here. Yeah, let's have this one. Let's build a road there. That's fine, because you get these little extra paths then automatically at the end, so this means it's connected. We're having the plantation over there then, and that means we can then get rid of this one here, even though I don't know if that corn will be enough or not, but for now we can then get rid of this one here. We definitely don't want to have a plantation close to our mighty, beautiful palace there, right? With the sharpshooters on the roof, walking around. Of course, the sharpshooters themselves have a name again, have a family, have a situation in Tropico. So these are uneducated people. I'm always glad when uneducated people have rifles in their hand. And in that case here, they do have the workplace and they live in bunkhouses right now. If I click on the bunkhouse, I can even see which bunkhouse it is where they're living. That's pretty cool. Right, what we can see here, those bunkhouses are pretty full, so those two will be necessary or are necessary right now.
Only marginally glorious, but with your continuous support, Governor, the people will make it shine.
And then we've built the library. Now in this case here, I'm inclined to go with 10 revolutionary immigrants and just hope that they like me. They do. So 58 out of 60 now that we have. Get 10 more people, so we have now 108 people. Finally, we are above 100. Even though that is really not much. And there now the lumber mill is being built. And coming up, the first processing factory that we have. We get the first factory workers here already. So education required, as we can see, is uneducated. So we don't need any education for that. They're being educated on the job then, right? And now the Teamster office is getting the logs from the logging camp, delivering it to the lumber mill where we process them planks out of this one. And those planks we can then finally, well, sell again, export again. Lots of things that we have here right now. We finished the trade route with that, get some bonus money out of this one here, 7,900 it was, and we finished the quest here.
So difficult these days.
So in that case, extend the mandate time by 18 months. That's fine. So that's the mandate that we have from the crown. Of course, once we are independent, we don't have that any longer.
People love you almost as much as I do, Governor. We have such exquisite taste.
And with that, but we do not understand why we still take orders from the crown when we have the best possible leader in all the world right here. And on a completely unrelated note, I was idly scribbling with my quill and found I had inadvertently drafted this Declaration of Independence. Perhaps you might like to sign it, Governor. And yeah, let's declare independence and pay the crown 15,000 so we don't have any war, but those 15,000, they will bring me down quite a bit there.
Your judgment is always impeccable, Presidente, but might I make a tiny suggestion?
Too many citizens are living in shacks. If you take a look at the economic wealth of shack dwellers, you'll know which buildings would be most suited to replace the shacks at any given location. Let's accept this one. And
excellent. I knew you had a good head on your shoulders and would want to keep it there.
I'll take this money to the treasury and inform them that we've ditched another of our backwaters. There won't be any further trouble, I assure you. And with that now we have declared independence and are now entering the age of world wars. And now the game becomes a bit more complex. My heart swells with joy as I greet my fearless leader for the first time as El Presidente. But it is a hazardous period for our fledgling nation to take flight from the colonial nest. It is a time of wars and sequels to wars. A time to fortify, to think about electrification and industry, and to train doctors to fix the health problems caused by that industry. There is much to be done. And yeah, we get now new relationships, and we do have an independence declaration, so we do need to have our own constitution. And we do have the radio now active too in the background, as you can hear. And with that, radio is very important for our propaganda then. But right now, we do have two tabs here for our first constitution. So the voting right and the armed forces. Let's go for voting rights. So let's have, we can now choose what we want, who we want to allow to vote. So all citizens, the wealthy ones, or open ballot elections. So employees of governmental buildings vote. In that case here we can say all citizens. The problem with that is that I have to keep my people happy at all time. But of course Tropico is a progressive nation. We are in 1903, right? So we will be the first nation on this planet to allow all citizens to vote, and everyone can vote for that. And here we can also choose what we want. So for armed forces, pacifist, militia, or professional soldiers. Now they cost the most but are professional. They don't cost me that much, they require no education, but they could turn against me. And pacifist state decreases the rebel threat built up by 75%, increases standing with all superpowers by 10. So we could start with the nation of Tropico being committed to the peaceful conduct of all nations, hereby renounce any and all titles to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and to raise and support armies, navies, or armed forces of any other kind. And we should go for this one here right now. So I can't afford a military at this point, so let's use this and have pacifist state. We can change that again with the next constitution. It's not written in stone forever. And with that, let's put our mark on that. And it's effective now until 1913. And that is our first constitution that we have now. The Constitution of Tropico. And in that case here, we will get an election then at some point. So we have to keep the people high. As we can see here though, our support rating is 88%, 85%. And in that case here, people are happy because of that. And what we can see now, we finally have some paved roads here now. So no longer any dirt roads, something like that. The library over here, we do have some workers here now. They need the high school education requirement. So they have been imported, those guys here, because I don't have a high school right now. So obviously I cannot have something like that. Now the problem is we do have shacks over here with the farmers.
Your political maneuverings are that
Task complete. We do have the shacks here. The thing is, those people cannot afford to live in a bunkhouse, or the bunkhouse is too far away, right? So they can't go there every single time. So in that case, it might be a good idea to have at least 1 or 2 bunkhouses here, or this apartment here. But let's have the bunkhouse here for those guys living here, right? So they don't need to live in the shacks there anymore. What I've seen as well is that we do have new buildings unlocked here. So the apartment is the upgrade from the bunkhouse. So for people that are good quality, for well off or better, in that case here, it also looks pretty cool. So in that case, we can build those then instead of the bunkhouses. And yeah, the streets are bustling full with people right now in Tropico. Right, rum is no longer trending. The freighter, oh, we are really not exporting much right now. That needs to change. So here we have the logging camp, the lumber mill. In that case, let's see what else we can do. We have the oil well, that is a new building then. Rum distillery, we don't have any sugar. The tannery though, from hides to leather, so that is a good upgrade there, and it doesn't cost us anything for the blueprint. So let's have a tannery there, right? This building though stinks. Let's have it up there, close to my ranches there. Oh boy, and my money is down.
This is business news on Canal Uno. Worldwide miner strikes ended today with a small pay raise, bringing mineral prices back down. A palace spokesman said, "Don't you lot get any stupid ideas."
And there's the radio guy again. So we can manipulate them as well. We can use them propaganda for the radio once we have the radio station. So right now I cannot control what he says. But at some point I could do that if I want to. Now hopefully we produce some gold. More gold than we have here. Right, because that's going to be a lot of money. Finally the mine is working. And yeah, by the way, those buildings are not final. So we can still upgrade them as well. We do have upgrades for each and every building. In that case here, I could now go for the cannery. So it decreases the risk of this building catching fire for $750. But other than that, I don't need anything here right now. We don't have electricity as well. And we did get some foreign aid now by allies. So they sent me 7,500. So now we do have the politics, that we have the relationship with the allies and the Axis. So those two forces, well, in the world wars. And we can then choose our relationship with them. We can increase it, get quests from them, get better trade routes and stuff like that. And if we get too low on these standings, well, then they might declare war and have an invasion. And then we get some foreign soldiers into Tropico and could become dependent again. Of course, that would mean the end of my reign. Right, the next Friday comes in. A bit of money against some citizens. Let's have a look at my citizens there. Do we have... We don't have any unemployed, really. We do have some homeless people, though. So hopefully that changes with the bunkers up here. There it is finished. It's full already. And as you can see, the shacks are gone here, right? So there are no more shacks because they live now in the bunkhouse. The tannery here has some workers now, but empty stocks. It needs hides. And I think now that this Teamster office here is not enough anymore. So we could go for a second shift, add 6 more job positions. Let's do that. Let's upgrade that building. So we do have now twice as many workers there. 2,500. And the normal one costs how much? 1,700. So it's 2,000. So it's actually a loss there.
We must choose a side in this terrible war before it ends. It is almost certain to be very short.
And our choice appears to be between the Allies and the Axis. One of these is constantly developing new weapons of violence and has no compunction against bombing civilians, and the other is evil. Whichever you choose will probably win, for though small, Tropico is the true global power. And of course that is absolutely true. And we now have to form an alliance, so this would then progress us to the Cold War, to the next era. So this is a bit difficult here now. I do need the embassy for that, and I do need to raise our reputation then with them. The embassy though is a very expensive building. I don't think we even have unlocked it yet. Nope, there it is. We do need to unlock it too. That costs us money, and then we would need to pay for it. So right now I can't afford that, and we're probably going to leave that. Plus, we don't want to advance too quickly, right? We don't want to fall behind with our technology here. Right, so the lumber mill finally has some logs now and processes that to planks. That would mean more money then. And finally, we don't have horses anymore, but cars are driving around here. As we can see, they can deliver much more. So this one here delivers right now 800 planks now to the port. The tavern here, quite full.
Presidente, I am inspired. I have solved the problem of capitalism.
Oh wait, my shoelace is untied. There, fixed. I wouldn't want to trip and fall on my face. What was I saying? No, it's gone, never mind. While I'm here, perhaps you could help me with this. What? What are you talking, Marco? No one knows that, but he wants me to build a fire station. And we would get 5,000.
Some say that while there remain nations unconquered, the fatherland is incomplete. Prolong your independence, Presidente, by meeting my needs.
Erich von Strom, and he wants me something. So he's the Axis, of course, the Germans in that case here. So of course one day every nation will find its place in the Reich, but these things take time, and as long as you cooperate fully, Tropico will not be a priority acquisition. Did that sound like a veiled threat? Forgive me, I meant it to be openly threatening, and we do need to fulfill an export trade with the Axis there. Right, we cannot of course decline that. That would mean bad reputation. So a small trade route with the Axis there, we need to find something. So there we have now different factions, as we can see. I can see here now the, what is that? Venezuela. Dominican Republic. There we have the Axis. They want sugar, tobacco. That's pretty good. Tobacco, 3,000. We can do that. Let's sign the contract. So now we do have a contract of tobacco for the Axis. We do have another trade contract right now. Let's have a look at the prices there. For export, not very good prices overall, but this one here is for allies leather. We produce leather now, so we can sign this contract here too. Getting a bit more money out of that. And there, the next banana is getting to the dock. At the dock, we have lots of goods now, so it's definitely increased there. Planks and some gold now too, so I'm eager to see how much money we make out of this new one. There the freighter is docking, and god, I love this game already. Tight gameplay systems, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's 11,000 there, a bit more money, 7 more immigrants coming into the town. That means we need more bunkhouses again. The problem though is right now that we still don't have enough money. The tannery has empty stock. There's not enough hides here as far as I can see. This one here has hides. So we probably will need a second ranch with something that produces hides. No kettles, we already have them. Okay, what I can see is though that, yeah, cattle is the only one that produces hides. So let's have another one here. Another ranch. Besides that, so we have enough for the tannery there. Do we need something else? I really need more money. It's a huge problem right now. We have a gold mine already. We could have a second one. It's the only... I cannot build anything else here, right? Nope. Cannot do that. How to make more money? We do have the fishery here. That's producing something. The rum processes the sugar to rum, but that costs me 10,000 the rum distillery. That's a lot. We could have a second lumber mill. Nope. Is this getting enough logs here? Yes. Full of logs there at least. This one here still needs the hides though. It's a huge problem. There we get some hides now in. 77, but that's almost nothing. You know, it's processing that rather quickly. As you can see, it's going down. So we definitely do need the second ranch there with the cattles. Alright, let's have a look where we have more ore. The coal, iron. Over there we have more gold. It's a bit far away though, is it? People will take a long time getting there. There we have the iron though. We can take this one. Right, and let's build a road there too. That's something. Doesn't even cost that much. Then we have plantation. Should I have another plantation? Still have some space over there. I mean, we might just expand over here and here then, because I want to reserve this area here solely for my city. I don't want to have any other buildings there, so we still have some space here. Is there really no coconut harvester here? Nope. That's not possible. Plantation wise. Pineapple. Pineapple is fine here. Let's have one pineapple there. And let's have another plantation for, cotton, rubber. More cocoa. More tobacco. Let's have more tobacco because we can have the tobacco processing then at some point. Let's have that here. More ranches means more money. And I definitely will need another Teamster office though. 2,000. Right, because those goods need to get to the doctor at some point or somehow. And what I can see is that we don't have many goods here, despite producing more. 2 more trucks are coming in there. That was a good one. Leather, coffee, some tobacco. We need to make money here. The Axis sends me for an 8, so when I have a good reputation with them, they do give me some power, some money from time to time, but it's not endless, you know, so I've got money now from both sides, the allies and Axis, so next time I won't be getting any 8 for now. There's a cooldown on that. There's lots in the storage here now though. Right, 8,800. That's fine, even though it's still not perfect. Let's have a look at our processing ones here. As we can see, we need to buy the blueprints now for those guys here. That's not good. So in that case here, that's a huge steep price here for the beginning. This one here produces toys. But which toys? The cannery produces canned goods from fish. That might be something. And the cigar factory is the most expensive one here. That's too expensive. 13,000. This one here, toy. They're all really expensive. So we should stay with this one here, the rum distillery. We do need sugar though. So I do need a plantation for the sugar as well. We do have pineapple here. That's good for the cannery then. But we do need one plantation with sugar. Okay, over here we could have that. Yeah. There we have something with sugar now. Do need a road, of course, going over there. And then once this is built and working, we can then finally have a rum distillery. That will produce quite a lot of money. And since we do now have the library, we can start with the researching. So the advanced boat service has been researched now. The library work modes increases the immigration rate by 50%. Oh, I don't want to research that now. Child allowances, church fee, employee of the month. Mine and industrial buildings work double shifts as long as this edict is active. That sounds pretty good. World War, we have some new things here now as well. the clinic, the radio. Let's have employee of the month. That sounds like a good thing. So mines and industrial buildings work much longer then. The tannery looks pretty cool here too. And we finally have enough hides here in store now, so we can produce more leather out of this one. And there are lots of constructions right now, so this is going to take a bit of time there. But so far, hopefully, the money though, I'm really not happy about that. We almost have nothing in storage right now. That needs to change here.
Remember the story of the man who built his house on a foundation of sand, Presidente?
Sister Francesca. He was a very stupid man, but I suppose that's the point of the story. And I'm not here to check the foundations. I love these texts there. I just have a simple request here, build a chapel, and we would get 5,000 out of this one here. I think the chapel though will be more expensive than that. Oh, 1,700, very good, let's build it. And that means we get actually some money out of this one here, but we do have a chapel here, but it is full, as we can see. So there was the icon above it. So we should probably build a second one, and a second chapel then somewhere here, more in the center. For the chapel there, and what else do we have? Task overview, that we have something else. Increase the education rate from 8 to 20%. That is another task that we have.
Don't you just love watching the boats leave harbor, Presidente? Each one loaded with goods for export. Some of them even legal. Amazing.
Now so many ships leave Tropico every day that no one would really notice if there was a little extra something being exported. There'd be no need to ask questions about it. We need to export 1,000 boats, and we do get 2,000 out of this one here. So as you can see now, quite a lot of quests. We do have, I think for the boats though, there is the shipyard, yeah. And that though is expensive. So hopefully some of the quests that we can do, we get some blueprints out of this for the industry buildings. Right now, that's just way too expensive with the money that we have. And let's have a look at my population there again. Homeless citizens 7. Perhaps we should have another bunkhouse over here then. Right, so right now those people want to live here, of course, close to the workstation. Once we have public transportation and the edict for it, people can then live in the center because there's fast transportation then with buses and metro stations. Right now they want to live here because it takes ages, of course, to get back into the city. And we need to change that later then, so we don't have shacks here all the time. Plus, it's not good for my people then. They are very unhappy if that's the case. So far, so good. We struggle a bit with the money right now. My support rating is only at 50%. The next election could be a close one. Other than that, hopefully we can continue with this one here. Stay tuned.